You have to do things that are going to make a name for yourself, whether it's just consistently releasing regular tracks in a specific sound and just keeping on doing that, or whether you go for the jugular a little bit and you go and you try and make a really big commercial record to get people to notice you, and then you maybe do the more underground stuff as a side project. You know, it's very important that people take notice to what you're doing, and working things like social media, being very active that way is one way. I mean, you just look at how Deadmau5 approached his career. I mean, he kind of did all of the above. You know, he released a lot of records, he started a record label that's been very successful, signed a lot of really kind of big things, and he's also, I think, probably the most active on social media as well. He kind of documents his whole life. He really talks to his fans as if they're his close friends, and it's really worked for him. I mean, he's really kind of rewritten the rules on how to do that. It's the exciting thing at the moment is, you know, you can come from nowhere and establish yourself very quickly, but then you've got to keep delivering. It is very hard to break into the circuit. You know, there have been a lot of DJs that have broken into the circuit, but then after a year of being on the road, it's kind of unraveled them. You know, it is a hard life on the road. It sounds very glamorous, and we do get to go to all these amazing places, but you know, you go for months on end without sleeping properly, and it's quite brutal being on the road. And sometimes the reality of it just doesn't suit certain people, especially people that are used to just being in the studio and living in quite a regimented life in the studio. I find when I'm in the studio, I very much keep sort of regular hours, and that to me is kind of my normal life. And then when I'm on the road, everything's upside down and stuff. And I think trying to get a balance of those two is the kind of, I'm constantly striving to try and keep that balance in check. And you do too much touring, and then you're useless in the studio. You spend too much time in the studio, and you're itching to go out on the road. And it's very important to try and find a balance between those two.